So today I'm going to teach you how to beat the banks and make cash flow in your sleep. Now, this is a different kind of episode I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to talk about how to make your money work. But before I jump into the show, I just want to play a clip from one of our coaching students in our Novation Bootcamp. I love playing these. I love how people are crushing it. And so I'm going to play this clip and then I'm going to jump right into today's show.
Had two closings. One had a $35,000 profit and the other was $63,000 profit.
Awesome job. Thanks for sharing that. All right. So I was inspired to bring up this episode because I just read The Richest Man in Babylon. This is a book that's very, very old. I don't know. It was written in the 20s or the 30s, and I like to read it every single year. I actually, though, just paid my second oldest daughter to read it. And she actually wrote a summary. And I think maybe I might post that on our website. So you can go ahead and check it out there. But I highly suggest you read that book because one of the concepts of that book is you have to learn how to make your money work. I think many people get involved in real estate because they want to make cash flow in their sleep. The idea of making multiple streams of passive income coming in day after day after day is very appealing. And so today I'm going to share with you a way that you could get started very easily with very little money and little to no risk. How does that sound? Okay, so again, how you can get started very easily with very, very little money and little to no risk. And this is very timely because this is around right now. I don't suspect it's going to be this good for this long, but you've got to jump on this, okay? So I'm going to talk a little bit about the banks. So banks are one of the smartest institutions out there, okay? They're even smarter than the real estate investors because they do something called arbitrage. What does arbitrage mean? Arbitrage means that you basically take an opportunity or money or real estate and you control it, right? You control this opportunity and then you basically flip that opportunity with little to no risk, right? And so banks, what do? Well, banks virtually take your money and then you pay them sometimes for the right to do so. Some of you pay account fees. Hopefully you're not, once you get your balances to a certain amount, you don't have to worry about that anymore, or you shouldn't. Or the bank pays you some ridiculously low amount. So most, I know that in at Chase Bank, for example, or Bank of America, or I don't know, Capital or Bank of America, or I don't know, like Citibank, the interest rates that you get on your money is like 0.01. So that's not 1%. That's not 1/10 of 1%. That's like 0.01. So that's like 1/10 of 1%, which is almost nothing. And so when you put your money in the bank will then take your money. They will arbitrage that money and they will put it out in auto loans, right? They'll put it out on mortgages. But banks have so much money that a lot of times they don't have enough of those places to place it. And so they put it in something often called T-bills, UST bills, okay, treasury bills. These are actually bonds. And I won't bore you with all the specifics, but basically banks will give your money to the US government. And then the US government will then pay the banks for the use of that money. Now, what's interesting is that I love bonds, right? I love T-bills because they are backed by the full faith and credit of the US government. What does that mean? Well, the US government is basically saying, hey, we're going to guarantee that you are going to get a return on your money, right? We guarantee the principal of your money, okay, will not be lost. Now, banks, on the other hand, right, when they take your money, you are guaranteed by the FDIC, right? It's the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. I think that's what it stands for. And you are guaranteed by this insurance corporation up to $250,000. So if you want to know that your money is safe, right, you can either put in a place where it's backed by the full faith and credit by the US government, and we can debate about how much that is worth, or how much an insurance company that is basically owned by the government, if that is also a safe place for your money. Either way, most people will view either of these things, having your money in the bank or in a bond, as relatively safe. Okay, now, right now, because of the turmoil in the interest rates environment, okay, because interest rates have gone up, right? That to get a mortgage loan on your property right now, it's approximately between 6 and 7%, highest it's been in a very, very long time. The interest rate on T-bills is between 4 and 4.5%. Now, for me, I always want my money working between 10 and 20%, always, right? Between 10 and 20%, and sometimes a lot more. But sometimes, and oftentimes, it's not possible to get those investments. So one of the things that I'm going to recommend to you is, in the meantime, right, you start using T-bills as your bank account. So what does that mean? Well, right now, you can make between 4 and 4.5% on your money, right, buying treasury bills from the U.S. government. These are virtually risk-free. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, so verify that with your lawyer or tax advisor or whoever that is. Legally, that needs to do that. Okay, but you can make between 4 and 4.5% on your money just for having it sitting. So, by the way, these are backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. And some people think that you have to lock up your money for a very long time with treasury bills, and that is not true. Okay, that's a fallacy. All right, you can buy T-bills for 4-week terms, 8-week terms, 12-week terms. Okay, those are approximate, basically 1, 2, and 3 months, and also 1-year terms. And so those are paying between those are paying between 4 and 4.5% on your money. Now, here's why I love this. I always love the idea of your money working in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. Okay, because it's a habit, it's a mindset. Right? And so when you find a better deal, if you find a good real estate deal, invest it into that. Or if you need money for marketing, right? Put it into that, right? Or if you need money for a good real estate deal, right? Or I'm sorry, to maybe partner with someone, great. Put it into that. What I love about T-bills is they are actually highly liquid. So not only can you buy them for short terms, right? 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, right? But you can actually sell them before maturity if you actually had to. You could actually borrow from them, right? The banks like them so much that you could actually put your money earning interest. And if you want to keep them there, borrow from them if you actually needed them, or you could just wait for maturity. Now, where can you find these things? Well, you could buy them from your bank. You could buy them from like a brokerage like Fidelity or Vanguard or E-Trade, like all those big brokerages. Or use a website directly from the government, Treasury Direct. By the way, I will say Treasury Direct is totally like this, government convoluted website, and it's really hard to use. And so because of that, I suggest using a brokerage like Fidelity or Vanguard. There's only one disadvantage from there, and that is if you go to Treasury Direct and buy them direct from the government, the website's kind of antiquated, but you could buy them in small increments like $100, right? If you're totally broke and just want to try it out, hey, you can go to Treasury Direct and do that. But if you want to make it easier, the brokerages make it a lot easier. And they actually, most of them will do it for free without charging you. Why do they do that? Because they like your money to be in their control. And what I mean by that is they want you to invest like in their stocks and mutual funds. And so if they kind of have your money in their world, right? And that's not as scary as it sounds, right? Is that and you're putting your money in T-bills, they just like you to be able to log into their server and to be able to, again, see their name. And so when you decide to invest in something in other T-bills, then they're right there in front of you. Okay, so you can go to banks or brokerage houses or go directly to US or treasurydirect.gov. All right, again, you can start with as little as $1,000 for those brokerages and $100 from Treasury Direct. Okay, now I always like to emphasize that money is an attitude and a behavior, right? It's not how much you know or think you know. It's actually what you do and your attitudes around money. And so while 4 and 4.5% is not that sexy, right? I can tell you what, that if you're sitting on any kind of amount of money right now and it's not doing anything, it's sitting in the bank, right? I would at least take a look at T-bills because number one, you can start making money in your sleep. And if you're like, Todd, I want passive income. Well, you have an opportunity here right now. Now, I can tell you that these T-bill rates probably will still go up as interest rates go up. But once interest rates change, this is not going to be like this forever, right? So you have to take advantage of this now. And so that's what I'm doing. So not only do I love the 4 and 4.5%, but I love, look, making 10, 20, 100% on my money. But you always want to keep that money working. You want to make money your slave. And so the reason why I brought up today's episode was because while some of you be like, Todd, I'm scared to invest. Well, here is the place where you could take that first baby step, right? Where you have little to no risk. You can get started for as little as $100, right? Where you can get that money if you needed it and you can get started today. All right. So I'll just summarize today's show. Number one, by the way, I recommend everyone read The Richest Man in Babylon. It is your job to make money your slave. Make it work. Not the other way around, by the way, because if you don't make money your slave, well, guess what? You will always be a slave to money. Number two, banks, they'd like to take your money and make it work for them. Okay, there's a reason why these people are the richest people on the planet. All right, so you need to start playing the game that banks play. Instead of letting them take your money and earn interest on it from them, okay, start taking your own money and be your own bank. Okay, take a look at treasury bills. Right now, you can earn between 4 and 4.5% on 4-week T-bills, 8-week T-bills, and I think they're like 12 or 13 weeks, basically 1, 2, and 3 month T-bills. These are virtually risk-free because they're backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. I view them just personally as safer than the bank. You could buy them short-term. You could sell them before maturity, right? You can also borrow from them. And you could do this with your bank, Fidelity, Vanguard, or other brokerages for as low as $1,000. If you wanted to go to treasurydirect.com, you could start with as little as $100. All right. So there's no excuses. Money is an attitude and a behavior, right? No one cares how much you know if you're not taking action. So, hey, check out a T-bill today. If you are looking for a copy of the Motivated Seller script that we love to use to talk to motivated sellers every single day, the one that we've used to lock up over 1,400 deals, go to nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com/script, and I will talk to you on the next episode.